which is, look, you've always been really active on the touch line. Brinks breaks now because certain managers feel that maybe it's an additional chance for a team talk to adjust tactics halfway through each half, maybe turning the game into 4 quarters. How have you found it? Would you like it to stay into next season?
No. I think we did it for the fact the lack of preparation for all the teams. Just 2 or 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks to restart the competition. Maybe for the weather conditions, but now maybe start a little bit warmer, but not much. And I think, of course, the reason why it was to talk with our players, yeah, of course.
Thank you. I wanted to ask you about the transfer window. Obviously, there's going to be very little time between the end of this season and the start of next, and you've talked about strengthening for next season. You've been heavily linked with Napoli's Kalidou Koulibaly, which I wouldn't expect you to speak directly about. But is it fair to say that a centre-back is high on your priority list in the next window?
At the end of the season, like you said perfectly in the question.
But yes, a centre-back?
At the end of the season, we have still incredible targets to fight, to try to play good, and this is the most important thing.
Good man. You've still got the chance of the treble, of course, and I know how much that motivates you and the players after all you achieved last season. You hammered the champions 4-0 and then lost to Southampton. To us on the outside, that would seem strange, but I wonder what you've learned from that.
Like it's all the season, we play really good, but really, really good in terms of we wanted to do. The commitment with the players is without a doubt still after 2 or 3 successful seasons unbelievable. But we are in the point that we sometimes make a mistake. You have to avoid it in some games, not all of them, because in some games, so the lack of to score goals to punish us as a team. But in the semi-final against Arsenal and against Madrid, this is the reality in our team this season. So we can play the way we play. Like I don't have doubt that it's going to happen, and we are consistent in the ball boxes. We will have a big chance or opportunity to go through in the final of the FA Cup and in the quarterfinals for the Champions League. But if it's happened, what happened in Southampton and in other games we played this season, like in Tottenham away, like Tottenham at home, like Norwich away, and games like we drop points, we'll be out. And Arsenal will be in the final and Madrid will go through. So this is a reality we have to accept, and hopefully these days we can be lucky to convert what we produce and to defend the less we concede. But I don't have any doubts that the team will be there to compete like we have done all the season. This is my feeling today. Maybe in 1 week I change my feeling, but my feeling today is this one.
Good man. Last one from me. Clearly your priorities, you've said yourself, are the 2 cup competitions where you can still win some silverware. But how do you approach the remaining Premier League games and particularly this game against Newcastle?
I would say that I was really concerned after the 2 first victories against Arsenal and Burnley. Like we were a step forward to qualify for the Champions League. Still, we are there. We need 4 more points, and I think with 5 games left, we are able to do it. In that terms, I was worried about how will be our behavior or how will be our approach to play, and have been incredible. And all the games have been incredible. Even the games that we lost against Chelsea or Southampton, the performance was there, absolutely there. And that does make me feel confident that the team will not be relaxed in the last period of the last games of the Premier League. For us, for the competition itself, and of course for the opponents that must be respected, was respected all the time since we were together.
Thank you, Pep. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mandy, if we invite you in, please.
Hi there, Pep.
Hi.
Hi. I just wonder how impressed you've been with the impact that Steve Bruce has had at Newcastle.
Well, he arrived I remember in pre-season when we met each other in China in the tour. He came, just landed there to see the last friendly game. The Newcastle was there, and it was a lot of rumors. And I think he did an incredible well in the Premier League. So he's already about it to relegate it. Last season, a struggle, most part of the season until the end. Like they make a good results, and they stay in the Premier League. But I think he make an incredible job.
It was quite a dramatic end to the game against Newcastle back in November. What are your memories of that match?
Well, it was tight. It was difficult, as always have been in the Premier League, at home and away, with Rafa Benitez in the previous seasons, and now with the Steve. And at the end, we dropped again 2 more points. We didn't make an incredible performance, I think, there. But once we were able to score a goal with Kevin, we should finish the game, but we could not able to do it. Always have weapons in the set pieces, with Shelby's in contact with the ball, with Joelinton, the fast players with Maxime and Almiron. Of course, when the long balls with Carroll. Is a team like its physicality is good, but hopefully we can do a good game, like we have done a few days ago in FA Cup.
Just finally from me, any team news?
No news, good news.
Thank you.
Welcome.
James, if you can come in, please, mate.
Hi, Pep.
Hi.
Pep, you've got 5 matches left this season in the Premier League. I just wonder what you're hoping to achieve from these last 5 games.
Win tomorrow, and after the next ones, but especially tomorrow.
And you've said the commitment has been unbelievable from your players so far this season. But what do you think has been missing in some of those key matches where you have lost those games?
Our consistency. No convert our game plan or the way we play it in results. So the idea is good. We play. I think the players, I don't have complaint, but this business you have to win, and we're not able in. So when you lost, I think 9 games, you cannot win the Premier League. Maybe years ago, but right now, the champion always have to score above 90 points, and when you lose 9 games, you cannot win.
What do you put that lack of consistency down to then, when you say that the commitment has been unbelievable?
Especially is now I was not able to solve this problem that we had since the beginning. I remember the game against Tottenham at home. They made 2 shoots on target, and we shoot more than 20, and we draw. So it was it happened in the second game in the league, and the last one in Southampton, it was quite similar. And I was not able to change this dynamic in many games.
And just finally from me, you've said that Gabriel Jesus is unique. You say he's perfect for yourself and Man City. But do you want even more from him now this season, especially with Sergio missing these games?
What I want with Gabriel is the way when Gabriel he played against Southampton. That maybe was one of the best performances I played in this season. And especially when they had the chance to score a goal and continue, and especially when they keep the ball, we could use him in our process, and in the boxes always we're ready to do it. Of course, we need his goals. He knows it for himself, especially for the team. But if Gabriel give us that, he gave us the last game against Southampton.
Life is filled with trying times, but so often.
Pay off.
Thank you, Pep.
Andy, if you're available, mate.
Yeah. Hello, Pep. I know this question keeps coming back, but once again over the weekend there were rumours linking the club with Lionel Messi. Is there any possibility, if he was to leave Barcelona, that he could end up at City?
I answered this question about the transfers. I'm not going to speak until the end of the season. My wish is Messi is going to stay in Barcelona. That is my wish.
Okay, thank you.
Brad, please.
Hi, Pep. We know that the club is expecting a decision on UEFA competition suspension or not in the next days. How How do you work with the possible impacts of this decision, one way or another, in the remaining of this season?
On 10, it is a draw, just in case we go through against Madrid. On 13 will be the sentence. And after that, I will give my opinion when you ask me. Wait the resolution from UEFA.
But do you think that the decision can impact on the remaining of this season, the squad mentality and maybe the motivation for the next of the season?
It's not going to change. This season is not going to change. It's so beautiful what we have in front of us.
Paul, if you don't mind.
Sí. Buona tarda, Pep.
Hola.
I wanted to ask you about the Champions League tie, because it's been said in Spanish media that your pressure to the UEFA has been key to make the second leg being played in Manchester. And just what are your thoughts on that? And if you do officially know where it's going to be played?
No, I'm not strong enough to have this impact. I'm not a dirigent. I'm not a president. That they have a relations, official and protocol relations with UEFA, with the FIFA. Never spoke with any people from UEFA. And I said many times, so we want to play in Manchester. That is normal. But we are going to accept to play like UEFA decide to play. If they decide to play in Portugal, in Germany, and whatever, we're going to play there. What I want is play against Madrid. This is what we want. But I didn't make a phone call. I don't have this power to call to the UEFA and FIFA and the other statements.
Moving to the embargo, please, guys. 10:30 this evening.